The Prophet Jasher, The Lost Book of the Upright, by Mark Edward Chard. The Mystery of a Lost Book. In the long tapestry of Scripture, some books shine brightly, others whisper from the shadows of history. Among those whispers, 2 verses speak of a mysterious lost record, the Book of Jasher. It is not written in the Book of Jasher, Joshua 10:13. He ordered that the people of Judah be taught this lament of the bow. It is written in the Book of Jasher, 2 Samuel 1:18, New International Version. But who or what was Jasher? A prophet, a poet, or perhaps a symbol of righteousness, truth, and divine remembrance? What the Scripture tells us. The Book of Jasher, or Sefer ha-Yasar in Hebrew, means the Book of the Upright. It's mentioned only twice in the Bible, but both times it appears when history pauses to honour God's mighty acts. In Joshua, the miracle of the sun standing still, a day when heaven and earth held their breath. In Samuel, the lament of David over Saul and Jonathan, a song of grief, courage and faith. These moments reveal something profound. Jasher's book was not just history but memory, a sacred record of righteousness, of those who walked uprightly before God. Who was Jasher? Later tradition identifies Jasher as a son of Celeb, a descendant of Judah, a man who witnessed the Exodus, the parting of the Red Sea, and the giving of the law at Sinai. If this tradition is true, Jasher would have been a contemporary of Moses and Joshua, a righteous chronicler whose writings preserved the earliest songs of Israel. But the truth may go deeper still. The name Jasher, meaning upright, just or righteous, might not refer to a single man, but to a quality of heart. Perhaps the Book of Jasher was the Book of the Righteous, a collection of songs, poems and stories, honouring those whose faith remained upright before the Lord. His lost work and its legacy. Across time, humanity's longing to rediscover this lost book never faded. From the Middle Ages throughout the Enlightenment, new writings appeared under its name. Retellings of sacred history from creation to the death of Joshua. Though none can be proven as the original, these works are windows into faith. They expand the stories of Enoch, Noah, Abraham and Sarah. They reveal the rise of Nimrod, the flood, and the Exodus in vivid, moral poetry. Some treat Jasher's record as a grand epic of the just, where divine providence meets human virtue. Others see it as Israel's earliest moral literature, an ethical mirror calling each generation to live uprightly. Why was it lost? The disappearance of the Book of Jasher raises questions. Was it lost through time? A casualty of exile, invasion, or decay? Or was it set aside by the compilers of Scripture, perhaps because its poetic nature made it more song than history? Whatever the reason, its absence leaves a silence, one that invites us to listen inwardly, because perhaps the book itself was never meant to survive in ink, but to live in spirit within those who chose to walk uprightly before God. The message of the upright. The word upright threads through the entire Bible like a golden cord. Proverbs 10:9 says, "Whoever walks in integrity walks securely." Psalm 97:11 declares, "Light shines on the righteous and joy on the upright in heart." That was Jasher's message: to live justly, to honour truth, to remember the deeds of faith that outlast time itself. Perhaps the book of Jasher is not missing after all. Perhaps it is written every day, in kindness, courage and faith. Each act of righteousness adds a new line to the book of the upright. The Prophet Jasher, whether man, myth or symbol, reminds us that the greatest testimony is a life lived faithfully before God. When Joshua looked to heaven and saw the sun stand still, when David wept and sang his lament for Saul and Jonathan, their stories were written into a book of remembrance. That book, the book of Jasher, was more than a scroll. It was the living memory of faith itself. And maybe that's why it was never found. Because it was never meant to be found, only lived. To be upright is to become part of that divine record, a living chapter in the book of Jasher, written not with ink but with spirit. So let your life be a verse in that eternal song, a testimony of righteousness that heaven will never forget. A study by Mark Edward Chard.